Oh my God. I got a little notification from Zoom that was like recording in
I
progress.
I got that too.
Oh my goodness. I've never had that. But hopefully this is working. Hopefully everything's good. Hello. We're
Hi,
here.
Grace. You
Hello. How are you?
know, I'm all right. We had some technical difficulties starting the show, but this is a very exciting show because it's the first one that we're going to be putting on YouTube as well as Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Where else are we? Doesn't matter. You're gonna see
Yeah.
us now.
Yeah, well, we're currently on Amazon Music and Spotify. I'm trying to figure out Apple Music. We'll get there. But yeah, we will soon have this on YouTube. So we should be good. We're getting places. We're moving and we're shaking. Sorry, folks. I got a bit of a cough, so that's why we're remote. But hey, now you get to actually see. I realized later on we like introduced ourselves in our first episode as like, oh, I'm the blonde one and I'm the brunette one. But I was like, no one can see us. But
Yeah. Did we also not say our names?
no, we did. We
Okay.
described ourselves by our hair colors, and
Yeah.
now people can actually see who's who. Hey y'all.
Hello.
But I mean, yeah. Should we get down to it? I mean,
We should get down to it. What did we watch this week, Grace?
oh, we watched A Cinderella Story with none other than Miss Hilary Duff herself. Miss
Hillary.
Hilary Duff.
Yeah.
Um Overall, I would say before we even like go into any specifics, best movie we've watched so far
Of
for the
the straight
pod.
ones.
Yes, of the straight. Well, obviously,
Yeah.
but would you agree with this sentiment?
I would also agree with that. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think as far as the straight ones, it does not beat Single all the way,
yeah,
but it does
but
beat Miss Vanessa Hudgens. Sorry
it
about
beats
it.
out Miss Vanessa Hudgens. It beats out Miss Tall Girl.
And Miss Oh
It,
fuck
oh,
Tall Girl. Don't even bring me back to Tall Girl.
I know. I was gonna say that one gets you pretty riled up. So I
Mhm.
shouldn't we shouldn't discuss it for too long.
No.
But yeah, no. So far, first thoughts much better than everything else. Especially because I was not aware. Slash, I think I knew that Jennifer Coolidge was in this as well, but I totally forgot until like I started the movie, and then wow, what a great thing to be surprised with. A nice surprise Jennifer moment is always good.
Yes, I love Jennifer Coolidge. I did not appreciate that they made her into a mean lady, but I understand why they did.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, of course, like as the title of it alludes to, like, it's a Cinderella story and she is the evil stepmother. But as much as like her character obviously sucks because she's the evil character, the fact that it was Jennifer Coolidge just made it so funny though. Like she was frustrating character, but I was like, but hey, it's Jennifer. It's Jennifer. It's okay. It's Jennifer. She's a very weird evil stepmother. It was a very, very weird rendition of a evil stepmother, just obsessed with salmon and watering her lawn.
Was there was there like a reason that she went for salmon other
I
than maybe it was like a popular health food at the time?
I think
Was
that's
it?
it. I think that's it because like in the very beginning when she's like sitting by the pool, when she like calls Sam down or whatever, she's reading a book called The Salmon Diet. So I'm assuming
Okay,
it was just because she's like obsessed with thinking it'll make her body perfect, quote unquote.
gotcha.
Yeah, I think that's all it was just it was a diet food and she stuck to it very much.
To a point where I was worried that she was going to get mercury poisoning.
You would, yeah. I
I
mean,
made a note about
literally,
it.
as you should have. I mean, I didn't even make that connection, but yes, that is a very big concern, I would say, with the amount of salmon she was having, and all of the food at the diner too. They were like, "Oh, salmon waffle is up for order." I'm like, "No, don't, no, 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 no." So gross, so gross.
It does sound very LA though.
Yeah, it does. It does.
We also
Okay.
just jumped right in. Should I read the description for this movie?
Oh yeah, sorry. I completely forgot about that. Yes, give the description for the movie.
Okay, so A Cinderella Story. It came out in 2004, and the description is Sam, Hilary Duff, a teenager in California, is obliged to work as a janitor and dishwasher in the diner of her stepmother, Jennifer Coolidge, after a cell phone mix up. Sam begins an anonymous text messaging and email relationship with a boy. They agree to meet at a school dance, but when Sam finds out that her secret pen pal is none other than Austin Ames, Chad Michael Murray, the cutest boy in school, she panics and looks for a way to make herself cooler. And it has 5.9 out of 10 on IMDb, 12% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay,
12?
12 is a little dramatic. I
I would say
think
that's
I
very
think
dramatic.
12 is too low. 12 is too low. They were out, didn't even like the Princess Switch have like a 35? We need to start like writing these numbers down so we can compare them. But like I'm pretty sure a Princess Switch had like 35.
12% is the lowest we've seen so far. That even
That
even
is
Tall Girl had
insane.
like, I want to say like 60 something.
That's a that no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
And Tall Girl threw me into a rage.
It did. It really, really threw you into a whole different world. You were very, very upset with Tall Girl. Yeah, 12% is insane. I would give it like a solid, like a 55 or a
I would agree
50.
with
I don't
that.
know, like
Like
right
a
down the middle
60.
or something. Yeah,
Yeah,
somewhere around there, somewhere mid-range, but a 12, like it's not like great cinema or anything, but like it's
a classic.
yeah, it's a classic in its own way. I mean, I that was the first time I had seen it, but I know that for a lot of people like our age, that this version of like a Cinderella story is like the one that they think of, and it's like their OG. But I have to say, first note was just that hearing Hilary Duff's voice again just like made me feel like I was like I don't even know, like 8 years old again. Just the way that she was just everywhere when we were growing up, just like hearing her say stuff. I was like, oh my God, hey, Lizzie.
I would
I felt
agree.
very transported to my youth.
Yeah, and I was obsessed with Lizzie McGuire.
Mm.
I had the doll. I feel like I had shirts. I had like floral embroidered capri pants. I
Oh, yeah.
had uh her
You had
soundtrack.
gauchos to match.
I had all of Hilary Duff's CDs. I had Lizzie McGuire lunchbox, which by the way is the one, like I haven't lost a lot of things in my life, but I left that at elementary school one day and my life was over for like a good couple months because I couldn't find my denim floral embroidered Lizzie McGuire lunchbox from the Disney store.
I mean, and you got it from the Disney store.
From the Disney store.
It makes sense. I mean, as your life should be over upon losing such a treasure.
I know. It was a
God.
tragic day.
Oh, big tragedy. Big
Mhm,
tragedy. But yeah, no,
truly.
hearing Miss Hilary Duff, I was very transported to my youth, despite the fact that I had never seen this version of a Cinderella story, which I know is also a crime in itself, that this was my first time. But regardless, Miss Hilary Duff still brought me back to my childhood. What is this
Oh my God,
response? What is
I'm
this
just
hand to the forehead?
sorry. If you can see us on video, I'm just being very dramatic. But I just am remembering all of the Hilary Duff stuff that I had.
Oh
I
my
had the
goodness,
Tooth
even more?
Tunes. I had the
The
Tooth
Tooth
Tunes
Tunes.
where she said,
I'm jealous.
wake up on a Saturday night. Cause in New York,
Oh,
baby, Hollywood. That I had that toothbrush. And I also had this Hello Kitty alarm clock that was in the shape of an apple. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, I need to know because I found it on eBay one time and I nearly bought it, but it's huge. It's like it's bigger than my head and it's a full-on CD player and you could set it so that the CD that you had in it was what your alarm clock played. And I remember whatever track 2 of one of her CDs was my alarm for like all of elementary school.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't. Okay. I had a similar-ish experience. No, I did not have that alarm clock specifically. I don't even remember what mine looked like, but I had an alarm clock that played like a CD when I woke up in the morning as well. But the two CDs I remember waking up to as a child was either the Mulan soundtrack. So like the
Moody.
first, how's that moody? Mulan?
I feel like all of those songs are very like moody.
Well,
Sorry, keep going.
it's who I am. But so either the very, very first song of Mulan makes me like feel like I'm waking up for elementary school, or the Shrek soundtrack was the other one that I had.
I definitely had that one too. I for sure had that soundtrack.
Yeah, so those are like the two songs where I'm like, ooh, gotta get ready for first grade.
First grade.
Gotta get ready. Very important. But yeah. But yeah, so you had Miss Hilary Duff waking you up for school. That's pretty
I
iconic in its
sure
own way.
did.
Oh,
Hmm.
love it. Speaking of Miss Hilary Duff, as we have been this whole time, I just find it very funny how yet again we've been given a story where they put a baseball cap on a girl and make us try to feel like she's not like other girls.
I
And they
made that note too.
another baseball cap girl that's not like other girls. And at the end of all of it, it's so, and this is far from the only movie that does this, beyond the baseball cap, the amount of times that they're like, this is the weirdo girl from school, but literally Hilary Duff was the it girl in
I
Hollywood at the time.
know.
They're like, but she's wearing a baseball cap in this movie, so she's not attractive. I just find it so funny how we've just like a princess switch. I told you it's the baseball cap. It's the
Hmm.
baseball cap. They try to get you with a baseball cap.
It's even the same color.
A blue baseball cap apparently really means something in Hollywood.
Hmm.
But yeah, that was,
Oh,
oh,
sorry. This
a
movie really
thought.
transported me back. I think 2004 is like around the time where my memory started to like stick. I
Mm-hmm.
I, I have a note about the opening scene when they're in her bedroom and that she has this like spinning light that like casts
Okay.
shadows of stars and moons onto the wall.
Okay.
I had this exact light and I have tried to explain it to so many people and nobody understands what it is. But now, if I have ever explained that lamp to you, it's in the beginning of A Cinderella Story and I need to find it and I don't know how to search for it on Google because I don't know what it's called. Every time you search like spinning lamp, it's like some kind of like helicopter hat situation.
That's not what you're looking for, is it?
No, but
No, no.
oh, it was a great lamp. I want one again.
Do you feel seen now though that it was in
I
in the
do feel
movie?
seen. I do feel seen.
You finally have something you can point people towards so that they can
Yes.
understand you fully. Fair enough. I mean, we all need to feel seen in one way or
Yes.
another. And I'm glad you had that moment. I really
Thank
am.
thank you
Hillary has
guys.
really done so much for you. I mean, you
She
were the
really has.
gaucho girl, and she
I
said,
never
it's
owned gauchos.
okay. You what?
I never owned gauchos.
Taya Marie.
I thought I didn't like them. I
Okay.
was a denim girl. I was very
Oh
much a
my
denim
God.
girl. Bootcut jeans, all childhood.
Oh God. Yeah, some throwback pics. Let me see. What else did I even like make note? But yeah, my first note was definitely forgot Jennifer Coolidge was here. What a nice surprise. Another girl that's not like other girls because she has a baseball cap.
Wait, you made that note and you didn't even make a note that the dad just died at the
Okay, no, I
beginning of the
did make a
movie?
note. No, no, no. I mean, I think it did. Wait, where? I'm trying
Where's your
to.
note about the dad dying?
I said another not like other girls kind of deal. Um, First of all, because she's being raised just by a dad, which makes her sporty and like greasy food. And then I said, but of course, the different girl is just Hillary Duff in a hat. I mean, I didn't make a note that the dad died, but I mean, I'm very aware that it happened. I'm very aware that it happened because, like, I mean, it's a Cinderella story, so of course the dad dies at some point or goes away, because then it's just the stepmom raising her. So I
See,
didn't
I
fully
thought
feel
he
like I
would
needed to make a note.
go off to the army or something. I didn't think they would actually kill him off.
Is this your first trip on the rodeo for
Yes.
any kind of a Cinderella movie at all?
No,
Have you
but I
ever seen
didn't think that
Ever
they would go that.
After by Drew Barrymore?
I have not.
Oh my goodness, that was like
Sorry.
the Cinderella movie that my family watched when I was a
Oh,
child. Lots of Drew Barrymore.
I
There
love
was also
her.
the Selena Gomez version of A Cinderella Story
Okay,
with Jane Lynch as the stepmother.
yes, and I do not remember any of it. I just remember that I had watched it twice as like a small child, and now I don't remember anything that happened in the movie at all.
I think I only ever saw it once, but I just remember the first time seeing it and being like, what is Jane Lynch doing here? Which is
Mhm.
my feeling whenever I see her anywhere. Like,
Anywhere except Glee.
anytime, yeah, anytime she's in anything other than Glee. Like, and I understand that she was in the L Word literally like decades before. But the first time I watched the L Word, I was like, you're not supposed to be here. You're Coach
Mhm.
Sue Sylvester. Get out. Get out of here. Even though, again, it predates uh Glee, but it's so weird to see her anywhere else. It's so weird. I love it though. I love when she's in other things because it's so funny, but it still just confuses me.
Yeah, I loved her part in Julia and Julia. Julie and Julia.
Wait,
You
what was she
know,
in that? I just watched that
she was
recently.
Julia Child's sister, and she
Oh
was
my
so funny.
god, yeah.
That is
I
my
love
favorite role that she has ever done.
I love her even more than the Best in Show.
Yes.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, that's a very close second.
Okay,
And
okay.
because I am such a huge, I was going to say former Gleek, but I definitely still am in love with Glee.
I was gonna
I
say,
was going to say
excuse me,
Sue
Taya.
Sylvester's
Literally
third.
half of our TikToks that we ever send to each other either have like a Glee audio or a
Do
Glee
I
reference.
love you? I oh my.
I'm so
With these on
excited to
high.
do that. I'm so excited to start a TikTok account. That's gonna be so fun.
I love
Oh,
it.
oh, hit him with those moves.
But I have
Oh,
to,
go crazy.
that move does not even come close to the prancing in that they do in the Madonna episode when they're doing
Oh God.
4 minutes and all the cheerleaders come in and they're like donkey
I
kicking
was
in
thinking of
front
a
of
totally different moment, but yeah, the 4 minutes that's true. Start a new trend immediately, because y'all are choosing the wrong one. Like, listen, River Deep Mountain High is a bop, and
it's a
Naya
classic.
and what is Mercedes actress's
Amber.
name?
Amber.
Amber. They absolutely killed it, but that 4 minutes walk in is truly something else. That is way more chaotic, I have to say. That is way more chaotic, and it deserves its moment in the TikTok spotlight.
I love Glee.
You do. We should make a few side episodes for like specific Glee episodes.
Yes.
We should do that. Give us, then we can finally watch some gay content.
Oh, I forgot to I don't know if I
Oh,
forgot to tell you or if I told you, but I did finish Dickinson.
oh, you did.
I did.
Okay. Should we first actually discuss this movie for a little
Let's
bit
get
longer
through the
and then get to
movie.
Dickinson?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Because we've gotten absolutely nowhere. We've talked about none of the plot. Okay. So, as all Cinderella stories go, the dad has passed away tragically from an earthquake. He dies in an earthquake, and now Sam, who is Hilary Duff's character, just has this evil stepmother that only eats salmon and two dumb stepsisters.
Yeah.
Okay. So then the first scene post all of that happening, which we already kind of discussed for a second there, when Sam goes down to the pool to bring breakfast to her stepmom, and her stepmom's reading about salmon being the only food she should ever eat. that opening scene where her stepsisters are doing the water aerobics, that was so chaotic and so funny. Honestly, immediately pulled me into the movie.
Mhm.
Absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved. But like that huge, why did they have that one shot though of the stepsister farting underwater?
Why did they have that? I asked the
I don't
same
know.
thing.
It was so funny though.
And
It
she was
was
like,
so
ew.
funny. It was so funny. Like my humor is so stupid and it was so funny to me. I love that was like, oh, the dad just died, something so sad happened, now this girl's farting in the water. I was like, where did, how oh god. But yeah, so then we cut to
An
Sam.
angsty Hillary song.
Oh yeah,
Did you
which
hear
one
that?
even was it? Which one
I
even was
don't
it?
even know. I don't even know. It was just the transition song from the big house to her friend's house
Mm-hmm.
where he's dressed like
Mm-hmm.
Slim Shady.
Oh god. Yeah. And he said he was method acting for his like Snoop Dizzle moment or something like that. And I was like, no, 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 no. Oh god, no.
Yeah, that would have
I
been cut.
yeah, horrific. That was one of those moments where I was like, that doesn't really age too well. That shouldn't be here.
There was another time where he said something stupid and he got called out for it though.
Oh, by Regina King's character,
Yes, yes,
Rhonda,
yes,
because he
yes,
like
yes.
called her girlfriend multiple times and
Yeah,
she
and she was
very
like,
much
call
set
me
him straight.
girlfriend one more time.
Which I'm
That was
glad
good.
she did.
That
Which
was
I'm
good.
very
I
glad
really
she
liked
did.
that.
I was not comfortable with his use of AAV. And
No.
also, I remember that it was like the douchey, like bro buddies of Chad Michael Murray's character, Austin's character, at one point were also very much using it. But I mean, they were surrounded by fellow white people, so no one called it out. And it was a little
Yeah.
gross.
I think that's just
I
kind of
hated it.
how 2004 was, which
Probably
is
so.
so terrible.
It's horrific. Also, speaking of Regina King,
I love
another
her.
person that I was like, hello, you're here.
Hmm.
Welcome. It was so exciting, but I was like, why are you here? You're too good for this, but I'm still so glad you're here.
Yes, I made a note that said Regina King should be the most famous actress ever, and I don't know why she isn't, and I don't know why she isn't in everything.
That is the question. That is the question of all questions. But yeah, I was very shocked to see her in this movie. For context, Regina King plays a character named Rhonda, who's, I would guess she was like the manager of the diner that Sam's family owns. I don't even really know if she was the manager or not, but she'd just been working there for a really long time and seemed to be in a position of power there. Um, but yeah, then one thing that I will say about this movie, other than like the weird 2000 early 2000 isms of it, the pacing is very weird. Much like this podcast, the pacing makes no sense. Because the thing is, like, they jump into, okay, now they're finally at school after Sam picks her friend Carter up. They're at school and she just immediately is like texting like she already is texting this person, this mystery person. And then we just have like a 5 to 6-ish minute montage of them talking to each other. And that like sets up the whole plot. Is just this 6 minute montage of them each like reading their messages in their head as they type them. It's like
Laugh
it
out
literally
loud.
sets up yeah, yeah the iconic Hillary Duff laugh out loud moment happens. But like they set up so much of the movie just in those 6 minutes, you know? It's like they plan the whole, oh, we'll meet at the dance, we'll do this, we'll do that. I just felt like they could have done it where like they showed us them finding each other, talking for a little bit, and then, I don't know. Do you see where I'm going though? Like it felt like I
Yeah.
was diving into something that was already halfway done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know what you mean. And they also just gave it away right at the beginning,
Hmm. Oh yeah.
which I thought was strange.
Yeah, they were already talking. Yeah, and they showed us who the other person was. They left no suspense. They immediately were like, "Oh, it's going to be Austin." I was like, "Oh." Which like I would have known anyways, but like they could have held it back in the movie a little bit. They could have, again, like they could have had like a little scene of like the two finding each other or something, because I was really confused at first. I was like, who is, she's just texting a random person. They didn't really explain how they anonymously connected with each other. They're just like, we email each other. I was like, okay, and what? And especially with it being like the early 2000s, I was like, how are you just like mystery messaging someone?
I also love, um, it brought me back to love Simon. I
Mm.
love when they do this secret admirer thing and they're like publicly emailing them in a public place.
Oh
Like
my
you're just
God,
gonna
yeah.
sit down at the library and talk to this person. Everyone could be, just like looking over
Especially in the library, especially in the library. It's
the
always the
school
library,
library.
not in the school library. You would not catch me. I'm trying to, no, like, no, I'm thinking back to like our high school library, and I'm like, there is no way if I had some sort of like a secret fling with someone back in, no way. You couldn't pay me to message them back on like a school computer. You could
Not a
not.
chance.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Oh, but yeah. So then suddenly it's already the dance. And I looked at the timestamp. It was like 30 minutes into the movie. They were already at the homecoming dance.
Yes.
The homecoming dance where they were supposed to like meet each other at the 30-minute mark.
Yeah, I did also make a note that it was just moving very, very fast. And so I got a little confused because I was like, where are they gonna go from there? It's gonna be one of those movies where like there's so many things after the first half that don't need to happen.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of times I've walked into a live play performance and that has happened where after intermission you just kind of wish you had left.
Yeah.
That was one of
Yeah.
those moments.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I still really liked the rest of the movie, but again, I just felt like the pacing was a little weird. Like, they jumped too quickly into the dance where I feel like that could have been later on. Um, it was just very weird that there was no buildup of this mystery man, no secrecy behind who he was, no reveal at the dance. It was, and again, as per always with any masquerade movie, I am yet again very frustrated. I mean, I'm saying yet again as if we've watched any masquerade movie so far, but she barely covered any of her face, and he's like, I have no idea who you are. I'm sorry to say, I don't know who you are. And I understand you and we went to a very small high school. So, like, you wouldn't have been able to hide who you were with any kind of a mask. You would know. I understand that they were at a bigger high school, but he had literally just been at the diner like an hour before the dance and had
Yeah.
talked to her.
Hmm. I think we skipped over some very important parts though.
Probably. Which part should we go back to?
I mean, yes, it's very stupid that he didn't understand who that was just from a tiny, like the skinniest eye mask
And her
possible.
voice and her hair and literally everything.
Yes. And also just the yeah, everything. But did you catch when she first walked into the dance that she had her flip phone flipped into the lace of her shoe?
No,
You didn't?
notice that.
Okay, so if like this is her shoe, then she had her flip phone like here, and it was so like she had probably clamshell opened it and then closed it onto like the part that ties up her like ballerina shoe.
Of course. It
It
makes,
was
I mean,
so
it
funny.
makes sense because at the
She
end of the
took it out.
dance, that ends up being her glass slipper, is her flip phone.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it would make a lot of sense that that's how it slipped off. It would make sense. Which again, another just 2000s thing, just to have her flip phone be the version of like her glass slipper in this was
I
hilarious
thought it
to
was
me.
so funny.
It was like, it's such a stupid movie, but it was so funny. It was enjoyably stupid to me.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I've got to say, you mentioned the transition music earlier when it was Hilary Duff's song.
I think I know where you're
Um,
going.
Probably so. You visited me once at the old sub shop that I used to work at. All
Yes.
of the music that played in this whole entire movie was incredibly sub shop core. Like,
I'll
I mean,
be.
I've already mentioned, oh my gosh. Oh yeah, I'll Be by Edwin McCain. Yeah. Yeah. All of the music in this movie, again, I can say where I used to work. I don't work
Yes,
there
you used
anymore.
to work at a Jersey Mike's and they
Yeah.
would blast Green Day
Oh
and Good
yeah.
Charlotte all day long.
Oh yeah, it was completely just pop rock music. Like we literally would just turn on a pop rock stations. It was just like anything popular from the early 2000s, like Avril Lavigne and all of that. Like every single song that played in this movie, I was like, I've probably made someone a turkey sandwich with this in the background. Like it just made me feel like I was back in college making subs for people, but I just needed to put it out there. Like I have multiple notes that's just like Jersey Mike's core, Jersey
Jersey
Mike's
Mike's
core, just
core.
like constantly. I was like, this is just
Shout out to anyone who listens to us that works at Jersey Mike's. We're praying for you.
we honestly, like the job itself wasn't that bad. Just there were some issues with the management, but I'm not going to go into that. I'm not going to go in there. But I mean, I made some good friends, and I still love the food there. I love the food there. I absolutely love Jersey Mike's subs. Those are it. The first time I had one, life changing. But regardless, back to the Halloween dance, the Halloween homecoming dance. Beyond the fact that I was very, very upset that he couldn't tell who she was with just the mask, not only this wasn't just like, oh, it's a masquerade dance, everyone's wearing little masks. It was a Halloween dance. She could have worn, like, they could have had it where she was wearing more of a disguised costume. She could have been anything. She could have worn anything, but of course they had to do like, oh, Cinderella and Prince Charming. It's just
What are the
exhausting. Like
chances?
if you're gonna push the, oh, he really doesn't know who she is, I feel like they should have done some sort of a costume that covered more of her face. But I mean, that's like a detail thing. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so dance happens. She runs away, loses her. Oh, also one other thing about the fact that he didn't recognize her. Neither did her stepsisters when she walked in. They were like, why does she look familiar? But you know who did recognize her? Her bully. Her
Yeah.
bully was like, oh, hate her, love the dress. And I'm like, why is she the only person that could figure it out? Like, of all people, it's just the girl that's mean to her.
Did she explicitly say that she knew who it was, or was that just kind of like a I hate everybody except for myself kind of thing? Do you think?
Fair
Or are we
point.
looking too deep into it?
Maybe we're looking too deep into it. I read it as her being like, ew, it's Sam. I don't like her, but I like the dress. But
Gotcha.
I mean, it could also just be her being very jealous and insecure.
Mm-hmm.
It could be either. But yeah, then the dance is over, runs away, loses the flip phone. Oh, which we love. We love. Where even am I in my notes? Where even am I? Sporty boy wants to write, but dad won't let him. Oh, also, I feel like this should be put out there. One of the important things throughout this movie is how badly Sam wants to go to Princeton University.
Right.
The reason she wants to go to Princeton is because one of the last conversations she has with her dad before he dies is she, as a small child, asks him, hey, Dad, where do princesses go to school? And he said, Princeton. Just pulled it right out of his butt. Pulled it right out of where the sun don't shine.
Right out of there.
And she really commits and is then like, I will now go to an Ivy League school. Like, obviously I'm totally here for her, like, you know, having this connection with her dad and all that stuff, but like he didn't actually care about Princeton. He didn't actually care about Princeton. He just like kind of was making a joke. And I was like, you know, good for her for the dedication of like taking that joke and being like, now I have to go to an Ivy League. Like he could have said any school. He could have said
Mhm.
any school, but he just made a joke. And I just thought it was funny that like she fully committed to that for the
Yes.
rest of her life.
And then the only thing getting in her way was her access to her father's money through her stepmother, not
Mm-hmm.
anything else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Which, of course, like at the beginning of the movie, it's like, oh, he mysteriously just had no will. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. If you get remarried and you have a kid, you need to make a new will. Like, what is he?
Yeah, you do.
But of course, at the end of the movie, he did have a will. Just little Miss Jennifer Coolidge was being so rude and just hid it. Just the whole time, it was just that she hid the will, which seems a little unlikely, but I digress. I digress. Um, where else are we? Do you have any other specific notes? I definitely have a few others, but do you have any other like things that really stood out for you?
All I have is emo announcements girly is so cringy, and high
Oh
school
yeah.
public humiliation is not real.
Oh my God, yeah. That's one of those things that I also made a note of. I was like, like, listen, if anybody out there that is listening to this podcast truly did get bullied that publicly, I am so incredibly sorry. Like, I don't know if I just went to a very sheltering high school, but like, I, the bullying that is like portrayed in movies is always just so much more dramatic and obvious. Whereas like the bullying that really happens in high school is so much more like behind the scenes, like it's more like mental games or like on social media or something. No one would just publicly be like airing out the laundry of other people like that. But
Yeah, and also high school kids don't just hang out in giant groups before and after school.
kind of. I mean, I did a little bit. I would hang out with
Not long
people.
enough to like hear an entire throwdown between two students.
I thought the airing out was like during a pep rally. I thought that was a pep rally because like everyone was wearing their jerseys and stuff.
I don't know. I feel like kids are just tired. They don't have the energy for that.
Well, it wouldn't be like the whole school for sure.
Yeah.
Like I definitely would hang out with like my little group of friends like before and after school, but yeah, typically just, you know, you're gone. You're
Hmm.
leaving within a few minutes. You're leaving within a few minutes. Um
That's about it for me. I don't really have anything else.
Well,
Should we rate it?
the other thing that I made a few notes of was just the overall, I would say that the movie didn't age horribly like some would from this time period. However, the main thing that I did notice there were definitely some microaggressions from Jennifer Coolidge's character towards Rhonda, which was disgusting. As well as like a lot of diet culture jokes. Like I felt like that was the thing that happened the most.
Hmm.
Um, there's just like a lot of conversations about that stuff. Um, but overall, yeah, I said it's the most watchable. Love Rhonda. And also, okay, one of the my other things that kind of stuck out. One of the recurring things that happens throughout this movie is that Sam is made fun of and like called Diner Girl. Why is it so hilarious to everyone at this school that she has a job? Like being in
Yeah.
high school and having a job is really not that uncommon.
It's
And
not
even
uncommon and it's not,
Austin literally has one too.
he does. It's a
It,
double standard situation.
it is. It very much is. Because
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, is it
they don't
not
call him
cool to
car
have
wash
money?
boy. it's weird. It was just so weird to me that they cared so much about the fact that she worked in a diner.
Yeah.
But then yeah, end of the movie, she gets publicly outed for like, oh, they've been talking to each other the whole time, and he like doesn't defend her. But then it's the football game, and he finally is like publicly like, I love you, girl. And they find the will. She gets her first kiss, which another note, I would not want my first kiss to be on the bleachers in front of everyone at a homecoming football game. That sounds
Absolutely
horrific.
not. Absolutely not. I'm sure that happens all the time.
Oh
I know
God,
it
I could.
happens all the time, but no. My
Oh,
first kiss was public in the middle school hallways though. So I can sympathize with that. It was terrible and I did vomit after.
oh, Taya. Oh God, no, mine was not like that, and I'm very thankful for it. It was very much not public and not in a middle school hallway. So
Mine was, and it was with a boy.
I never
And I
kissed a
went,
boy. Never did it. Never did it. I and the thing is, I dated multiple men, but I just like never kissed them. Never ever.
oh, she got around.
I was able to avoid. Well, I never like dated anyone for all that long. So I was able to
Oh,
avoid it.
Grace.
Oh, please. You already like
Grace the
know my
player.
please. You know my dating history. You know my dating history. It wasn't even that I was that much of a player. I think I probably dated like maybe 3 guys, but like I don't even know. Some of them I'm kind of confused on if I ever actually dated them or not. But regardless, I never kissed a man, and thank the Lord. Thank the Lord I was able to avoid that. But yeah, in the end, she gets the guy, goes to Princeton, la di da. What is your rating?
You know, Grace, I think I'm going to give it a solid 5.5 out of 10. Five
That
and a
was
half
lower than I thought.
salmon out of 10. Because, I'd watch it again, but I'm never going to score a straight movie like above a 6, you know?
Okay, I can
Just
take
for
it. I can take
relatability
that.
purposes.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, honestly, I was gonna say a 6 out of 10 when it
Hmm.
comes to 6 salmon waffles out of 10. Ugh, so gross. Yeah, because I would definitely rewatch it. Definitely the best movie we've seen so far. So maybe even 6.5. But yeah, it's not one that I'm like, oh my God, I'm so excited to rewatch it. But I still would. Um, but now to the exciting part, Dickinson. Now to the gay
Yay.
part of this episode,
Yes,
Dickinson.
Grace. I watched it in 3 days. I did not beat your record of two. Or did you
Yeah,
did you watch it
I
in two
watched
or
it in two
three?
days.
Two.
Two or
I split
three,
it up
but we
into
were
three.
close.
I became obsessed. I even broke out my calligraphy kit because I was so obsessed.
You whipped out the calligraphy kit.
I sure did. I got my calligraphy pen and the ink, which was completely dried out since high school. And I added water to it. And Marzipan, my cat, stepped in it a little bit, but it's okay. We got past it. And I do go to art school, so I took a paper making workshop. So I even used handmade paper that I had made. Oh my
Oh
God.
my
Anyway,
goodness.
Dickinson, I loved it. Um, I love anything that is just in like a dark old Victorian house. Like Knives Out is my shit. I love that stuff.
I
Yeah.
love Knives Out too. We should totally review that too at some point. That's a good
Ooh,
one.
a double
That's a good
feature, the
one.
first and second when it comes out.
Yeah, we should do that. We should do
Mhm.
that. But yeah, Dickinson. I okay. We neither of us took notes because this is very much we just wanted to talk about this. So I don't have any like specific things that I put down. But what I will say, Haley
What you gonna say?
Steinfeld. Haley
Mm.
Steinfeld. Also Ella Hunt. Um, both very gorgeous to me. Very gorgeous to me.
Gorgeous, gorgeous girls from
Oh,
Dickinson.
gorgeous girls love Dickinson. They watch
You know,
Dickinson.
actually, out of all of them, I think I'm not just like drawn to any of the characters in Dickinson, but I would say maybe Lavinia.
Lavinia, oh my goodness. Okay. Obviously, love the gay parts of Dickinson. So therefore, I brought up Haley and Ella. But when it comes to like character wise, Lavinia was by far my favorite. She was hilarious. She was so well written. And did you catch the Vine reference of
I
hers?
did. I did catch the Vine reference. It was late in the show.
It was late, but it was good. It was late,
Hmm.
but it was good. Overall, like, I'm trying to because I'm trying to think, are how much can we really say? Because I don't want to spoil the show for anyone that like hasn't watched it.
We
But
can say it's a great show. It has a really cool cast, just with a
mm-hmm,
lot of cameos of people that you'll definitely recognize.
mm-hmm,
And um, it takes place in the 1800s, but they use modern day language and humor, and they relate it to a lot of current events. So it's more of like they're making fun of current events through older times in history. It's not
yeah,
completely accurate to Emily Dickinson's life.
no,
However, they really made her into a really funny character.
yeah, no. I just what I really appreciated is like I obviously I had wanted to see it for a while because I had heard good things about it, and obviously it's good. But I was very surprised as to like how funny it was, and I also just really appreciated that they modernized it enough that it was understandable, because sometimes with period pieces like you really have to focus to like fully grasp what they're saying, but they made it very digestible, very funny. Got a really great Vine reference at the end of the movie, at
I
the
thought
end
you
of
were
the show.
American.
Oh, I thought you were American. Love it. I can't believe they did that. And it honestly, it's also a show that like the more of it that you watch, like the funnier it gets. Like
Yes.
the seasons get like progressively funnier. The first season's a little bit is definitely the most serious one, but by the end of it, it's just funny. It's so
Mhm.
funny and it's so well done and it's so gay and it's so great. And
Okay,
Lavinia is it.
it's not so gay. It's a very, very slow burn with the gay stuff.
It's a
You
slow-ish
really have to
burn.
hang on for that. But it's not like other shows where it's just like you're not going to get enough of it. It's just like I feel like they could have pushed it more, but because of historical accuracy, they kind of had to like rein it in.
Yeah. It's
It did
it's it's
when
sort of a
we first when we first talked about it though, you were very hot and bothered.
hey, listen, anyone that has seen this show knows one of the last episodes, there's a moment, and
There
it's
is a
quite a
moment.
moment. And the
But
moments
that
that they
moment
do
is so
have,
accurate. It's so
exactly,
real. It's not like other gay
exactly.
stuff where it's just like, we don't actually do that. Like we do that. Like that's the
Mhm,
experience, and that's how it is, and it's
mhm.
incredible.
Yeah, but I mean, it is a bit of a slow burn, but I mean, they do immediately like show the connection of the two in the first episode. So it's not like you're waiting for them to be together, but there are moments where they'll like go in and out of like having issues with each other, but overall like still the rest of the story was still really interesting. So like even when those moments weren't happening every episode, it still was very good. Regardless of the gayness, it's still very good. I
And
was
the
a little
soundtrack.
surprised though. Yeah,
Oh my
they
god,
had
they've got
some.
Mitski. They had Angel Olsen. They had
They did
those
have
are
a
the
Your
only two I
Smith
can
song at
remember.
one
They
point.
had Your Smith. They had Lizzo. They had everybody.
Well, and
Literally
again
everyone.
with those cameos, with those
Yeah.
with those cameos, incredible, absolutely incredible. What would you rate Dickinson?
I would give Dickinson a whole 1,000 out of 10. I loved it. And I'm so sad that
Absolutely.
it's done. And I'm so sad that I watched it in 3 days. The thing is like I couldn't stop watching it, but then I took a break. I could have finished it in two. I could have, but I wanted to just like have another day to look forward to it and then finish it. And now I'm very sad that I don't have any more.
I know.
It's been a rough
I
week.
see, I tried to do the same thing, but it still only lasted me 2 days. I like watched like a whole season and then some, but it was like over Christmas break. And I was like, you know what? I earned this. It's my time off. But oh, can't
I
recommend it
cannot
enough for the
I
gays.
cannot believe it took me a year to finally sit down and watch it because I had seen the previews. Whenever I watched YouTube, I would just get previews of Dickinson, and I was like, I'm gonna watch this sometime. I'm gonna watch it. It took me a year. Do not, listeners out there, do not wait a year to watch Dickinson. Watch it now.
Don't walk, run.
Run.
Absolutely run to Apple TV Plus or whatever it is and watch it immediately. You will not regret it. That is our takeaway. You can watch A Cinderella Story. Pretty good. You'll have a good time. But if you're gay and you're on this podcast and you have not watched it yet,
Do you think straight
go
people
watch
listen to
Dickinson.
us?
Well, currently as of January 7th, 2021 to 2022. Oh my God. I have reviewed our analytics and we do not have many listeners currently, and they are all in Minneapolis.
Gotcha.
So I have my doubts that currently any straight people listen to us, but in the future, if any do, I mean, hey.
Hello.
But yeah, Cinderella, 6 out of 10, 5.5 out of 10. Dickinson, a million. So great. Do it.
Amazing.
Love it. You
Amazing.
will not regret it.
Never, never regret.
Oh, there you have it. I believe that is all my brain has. Hopefully we did our Dickinson review some justice, because again, I watched it, no notes. I was just too deeply into that to take any kind of notes, but yeah, a good time. Lots of salmon,
Yes.
lots of laughs.
Absolutely. What are we watching next,
Absolutely.
Grace?
Oh God. Speaking of, okay, let me pull up our list. I do on our Twitter account at the U-Haulmark podcast. We now have a link tree linked in our bio, and one of the links in it is a Google form where people can request movies for us. And if you give us your
Wow.
we can give you a little shout out if we watch the movie. I didn't really run that by you, but I hope that's okay.
That's okay with me.
So to all of our listeners out there, if you do request a movie via that form, and we watch it, we will give you a little shout out on the pod. Okay. Let me see. All right. Some of the other rom-coms that we currently have on our list, we have Kissing Booth from Netflix, To All the Boys I've Loved, Never Been Kissed, Ghost, and Bend It Like Beckham for our straight rom-com list currently.
I feel like we should just go for it and do Bend It Like Beckham because I've never seen it.
Okay, sounds good. So
Have you seen
next
it?
up, I think so, but it was a
But you're a
while
soccer
ago.
girl.
I am a soccer girl, but the thing is, like, I mean, this came out quite a while ago. I was too young to be a part of the demographic when it first came out. But again, I do believe I have seen it, but I don't remember. I remember like the very last scene, but that's like it.
Cool.
But yes, next up, Bend It Like Beckham, and we shall see how that goes.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Okay. See you later,
All
Grace.
righty. See you later. Over and
Bye
out.
bye.